What's up, guys? This is the Celtic Collective coming at you with our very first deck profile. This is going to be of my Yang Zings. Yang Zings are probably one of my favorite archetypes that have ever come out. Just love how they work together, making synchros with all those added effects. Alright, let's dive right in. Alright, to start things off, we got Triple Swanee. He's a 1900 beater, and what he does is he adds 500 attack to the synchro monster created. Next, we got Triple Bin. This guy's 1600, another pretty good beater. He makes it so your synchro monsters cannot be destroyed by battle, which is a really cool effect as well. Probably one of the best ones in the deck as well is Bishi. I don't know how to pronounce the name. But what it does is it makes your synchro monsters impervious to trap cards, which is really annoying. And then we got Triple Jiaotu. This card is so good first turn if you can get his effect off. What he does is you can pitch two Yangzing cards. It doesn't have to be monsters, it can be cards, so you can pitch your Path and Creation if you'd like, and then you can special summon two Yangzing monsters and just go ham from there. I'm running Triple Chai Wen. The reasoning for this is because I just want another name in the deck, and I want to get those synchros off a little faster. I know some people only run two. Trying three, it's been working out for me relatively well. I'm running one Pula. Only one because he's alright. Being a level 1, it's kind of hard to contribute. He doesn't really contribute much to leveling up with the synchros, but it is kind of nice to have just in case, there are some decks that do run a lot of spells with Dark Holes, Raigekis, so it's nice to have him on the field. I'm putting these two together because I hate drawing into these guys. These guys are annoying as hell, but the main reason why I have them in the deck are because they're higher levels, so if I'm only able to pull out one of them, and then maybe a Chaiwen or a Jiaotu, then I can at least make level 7s, level 8s without having to use so many resources as well. I am running one Thunder King, because this deck, you never really search, to your hand at least. All the Yangzing monsters go directly to the field. The only card that does search is the Zefrenu, the other Yangzing that I was mentioning, but it's well worth it to stun your opponent for that. And one thing I am trying out is one Performage Trick Clown. My thought process behind this is, let's say if I place it face down with the Yangzing Creation, if he's destroyed on my opponent's turn, I can flip up Creation, summon a Chai Wen, and then I can bring him back, so on my turn I have a rank 5 play, or a rank 6 if I use Jiaotu. Another thing is if I do use him to make Baxia or Yazi, then I can use his effect to bring him back to the field, and then use one of their effects instantly, and use him to pitch. So that's all for the monsters right there. As for the spells, I am running triple Yangzing Path. This card is very important. Yeah, I know sometimes it may be a dead draw at the beginning of the game, but like I mentioned, if you do have Jiaotu, then you can ultimately pitch this card if you'd like, but it's so nice, at least mid to late game, just being able to recycle all the cards you have. I'm also running two Reasoning. I know some decks run 3. I like running 2 because, yes, I do want to see it, but at the same time, I do play a hefty amount of spells and traps, and I hate wasting resources, so on that off chance that I just start milling all my spells and traps, I don't want that to happen, but again, it's really nice to get that free monster onto the field. I am running double Dark Hole because, of course, destruction is great and it works well with the Yang Zings. Once they're destroyed, just get more on the field. That's a plus for me. One Soul Charge because, hey, why not bring all my Yang Zings back onto the field and make some sweet Synchro monsters. Last spell, Mind Control. I know a few decks run this. I'd say it's a staple in Yang Zings at least, only because it's so nice being able to steal your opponent's monster and then using it to synchro. Onto the traps, I am running Triple Creation. This card is so good to have. Again, keep in mind that the ruling is, or maybe not the ruling, but the effect states that it doesn't have to be a Yang Zing monster destroyed. It can be any one of your monsters. So once they're destroyed, you can get a Yang Zing. So this goes for your stolen opponent's monsters. This goes for my Thunder King and the Trick Clown that I run, and also any synchros that I run that are not the Yang Zing monsters. I'm running double breakthrough skill. This is really important because the one thing that the Yang Zing monsters are lacking is an effect negation monster, so you want to be able to negate your opponent's effects. And I like running Breakthrough Skull over Fiendish Chain because, one, I can essentially use this 4 times, and Fiendish Chain is used to primarily stop attacks as well, whereas sometimes I do want those attacks to go through, so I can ultimately cycle through my Yang Zings. I'm also running 2 skill prisoners. Again, effect negation is great. These ones are primarily for when I do get my big guys onto the field, I have some way to protect them as well. And again, this one has another 4 use, so essentially I have 8 in total, including the 2 breakthrough skills. I am running only 2 mistakes. Yes, this is a great card, and I know some people do run 3 as well. To be honest, once you get the first one off, I don't really want to keep drawing into the other ones, and I guess you can use Thunder King as my 3rd mistake. But again, like I mentioned before, you don't really add cards to your hand in your deck. This is more just to stun your opponent. I am running 1 Skill Drain. Skill Drain simply because it negates your opponent's effects, including mine, but if you're able to synchro off with Bixie, then it makes it impervious to Skill Drain, and you just have a monster on the field. Literally. Ha ha ha. Last thing, Torrential Tribute. Pretty much the same reasoning for the Dark Holes. It's a great destruction card, especially to play on your opponent's turn. And then what I do love about it is that, again, once it destroys my Yang Zing monsters, I get to pull more out onto the field. Alright, and now onto the extra deck. I am running 1 Herald of Arc Light. I am running this one because it is really good, and you can do the Baxia lock, whereas you summon this guy first, and then Baxia, and then you can ditch him, and you can keep bringing him back by ditching other Yang Zing monsters, and once they're destroyed, their effects go off, and then you ultimately get a new Yang Zing monster, you get this guy back on the field, so you can keep negating, which is great. I am running 1 Armades. You can make him with either a Jiaotu and a Beyond, which makes him, you cannot destroy him by battle, so that's pretty amazing. Or if you do a Chai Wen and a Swanee, then he becomes a 2800 who you can, just destroys your opponent. They can't activate spells or traps or effects on their turn. Or, I mean, not on their turn, but when you attack. 1 Catastor, you can use the same materials to make him, so again, he destroys a lot of decks, which is great. 1 Goyo Guardian, again, steal your opponent's monsters, then you can use them for synchros, hey. 1 Arnold Schwarzenegger, this guy just to clear the field. Sometimes you need him, because you never know, your opponent may go off, then you got an open board. I'm running 1 Clear Wing Synchro. This card is particularly good because he does protect your other Synchro monsters, and he is relatively strong as well. He's, I'd say, a really key component to the extra deck. I am running 1 Yazi. Only 1 because, to be honest, I only use him pretty much once per duel, and I am a little tight on the extra deck, so I wanted to make sure I was able to fit him in. Again, a really great Synchro monster. I am running 1 Beals because Beals, he's a jerk. 1 Hot Red because it's really good to destroy all your opponent's monsters, and he's a really tough guy too. Crimson Blader is a great card, very important because he stops your opponent from special summoning stronger monsters. Again, in certain decks like Satellar's, possibly Yosenju's too. Of course, not the Pendulum build, just the rank 4 spam. He's not so prominent, but in decks like Shadal's, Necros, he is very good. Now I am running 2 Baxia. This one is probably my #1 go-to synchro monster in this deck. What he does is, when he's summoned, depending on how many Yang Zing monsters I use to create him, he can bounce back that many cards. So usually it's around 2 to 3 or so. Plus he gets the boosts, and like I mentioned with the Herald card, you're able to combo off with him. I am running 1 Xiao Feng. This card, he's really good, but at the same time, I'm only going to run one of them because you only need one of him. Again, one great combo that you can do to wreck Burning Abyss, Shaddolls, and Necros is first turn, if you get, like I mentioned, if you have that Giotto, what you can do is you can activate his effect, and if you get a Bixie onto the field and a Swanee, no, and a no, what's the rank 5? Not a Bixie. Or, yeah, Bixie and Taotai. So that makes 9 right there, because Chao Fang is a 9. But then his effect is that the Synchro Monsters, their attributes that you use to create him, your opponent cannot activate effects of the same attributes. So Jiaotu is a dark, and Bixie is a water, so those two decks just get wrecked. Going on, I am running one Trishula. Ha ha ha, Trishula. So happy this card is back. Such a good card. Again, one of him. And the last card I'm running is Leo, because Leo is annoying as hell. He's also a really great monster with a great effect, and he's pretty tough to get over too. Alright, that's it for my Yang Zing deck profile. Hope you guys liked what you saw. If you have any suggestions, comments, leave them down in this comment section below. Again, please subscribe and like this video if you want to see more content. I will be trying my best to upload videos weekly. And other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.